All you need is all you need. Millicent, do you know why you're here?
I, dumped a tray of food on Felicia.
We can't tolerate that kind of unruly behavior, young lady.
But you can tolerate what she does to me? Why do you insist on ignoring months of verbal abuse and treating any act of retaliation as senseless troublemaking?
Well, it's easier.
I'm doomed. You do realize you've just sent Millicent a message that the establishment is aligned against her and supports her mistreatment at the hands of popular students?
Well, why not? It's part of the educational process. Conformity is the glue that holds society together. We have a duty to allow the natural reining in of unconventional behavior.
It's fortunate you never had Albert Einstein as a student.
See, if you'd been teased enough, he might have had better hair.
Stupid Felicia. Seems like I never win. I'm glad the election dragged on so long. I take some comfort in reading about it.
You mean you like the results?
No, it's just that when both sides are total schmucks, either way you're guaranteed a good dose of schadenfreude.
Say, Millicent, I understand you're feeling put upon by the self-proclaimed social majority in the establishment.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I used to do in your situation?
Roast people into little charcoal briquettes?
Yes, but there's more.
Oh.
You see, when I was your age, I was very much an outsider. Society, Millicent, has grown far less tolerant of cruel youthful hijinks. I should note here that even young dragons have a razor-sharp sense of timing.
Why did the kids pick on you?
It's difficult to say. To a certain extent, I believe it's arbitrary. One happens to be around when the insecure require a target. However, I think being a distinct individual might also play a deciding factor in one's visibility.
The holiday season. Spend your money on someone you really care about. You. Greed and ostentatiousness are your friends. You're better than people with less money than you. Buy a car that shows it. Buy yourself a new Lexus. Drive around displaying your genetic and economic superiority to members of the opposite sex. The all-new Lexus. Because shallow materialism kicks tail.
Ozzy, do you think Santa's gonna stuff these people's stockings with boogers?
Definitely.
So did you ever find a way to make the other kids respect you?
Not really. It's important to realize they don't hate you. They don't know you. They mock an idea of you which actually bears little relation to you. What matters is that you respect yourself.
Well, thank you, Mr. Llewellyn.
Now, are you going to ask about my chicken hat, or just stare at it?
My brain is full. I was planning to ask later.
Meanwhile.
So, Felicia, I hope you understand why being cruel to other kids is unacceptable. Oh, I'll be I prom 5 eyes. Good. Glad to hear it. So, Wall, how about moving a few inches to the left?
Is this some sort of psychiatrist thing? I can come back later.
You haven't gotten any resolution on the whole Felicia thing?
No, and I probably won't. I guess I'm coming to accept that life seldom serves up tidy endings. It's up to us to stay cool.
George W. Bush, leader of the free world.
Where the world ceases to be the scene of our personal hopes and wishes. Where we face it as free beings, admiring, asking and observing. There we enter the realm of art and science. Albert Einstein. So many would-be artists fail to grasp that. They deliver cheap gratification. They serve up what people already know they want and shirk the artist's duty to interpret the essence of reality.
So what are you drawing?
Felicia getting hit by a bus. You know, they say fish have no memory. Why on earth do they bother saying that?
I've searched the house pretty thoroughly, but I think I've only found about 30% of my Christmas loot. How many presents have you found? I haven't really looked. I guess for me the holiday isn't really about obsessing over what I'm getting. What? You are aware that communism has been discredited? Yes, I've heard rumors to that effect. Hey, this is Santa, inviting you down to Crazy Ray's Appian Sale Extravaganza. Why, we got all sort of. They can't take the good part. The 4 stages of Christmas: 1. Anticipation. 2. Euphoria. 3. Basking in the glow. 4. Realization that now it's the longest possible time until more Christmas.
2. It's interesting how holiday traditions vary from family to family. Every household does it a little differently. Do you and your dad have any?
Oh, there you are, son. It's December 26th. Do you know what today is?
The day I practice making toast by breathing fire onto bread.
Vive la difference.
It's an annual tradition. Dad instructs me in the dragonly arts.
Look through the bread. Past it. Let your eyes be the path of the flame.
But you're not a dragon.
Dad says being a dragon is all in the mind.
Visualize the fire. Fire, bread and toast, all present all one.
It's a spiritual state of being.
All things flow through you. Don't hold on to them. Let the making of toast simply be.
So is it true that, if you grow up with it, anything seems normal?
No.
Then, at last, open wide and allow yourself to be one with the toaster within and without.
Have you ever successfully made toast by breathing fire?
Results are secondary, Millicent. It is said that to dwell on the destination is to waste the journey.
To tell of completely screwing up.
My mother's variant was to dwell excessively on the journey where the destination is to risk some sort of wall-face altercation.
MLFNFRMRLL.
Define cynical. Hey, Ozzy, can you come out to play?
No, I think I'd better stay in. It's a cold snap, and my winter coat isn't really in. I'll freeze.
Allow me to introduce an amazing new breakthrough.
Yes, I've always said the world needed more sarcastic infomercials. Hey, Tim, share that ball with me.
Well, I don't know, Avery. I had it first.
Oh, Timelty. Don't you know this is the beginning of a new era of bipartisanship? In times of such unprecedented division, it's more important than ever that we come together. Putting aside petty differences to focus on how gloriously interconnected we truly are. So come on. Let's work together.
Well, okay. Hey, where are you going?
I've lost interest in bipartisanship now that I have what I want.
Oh, well, I was done making it spin around in the toilet anyway.
My dad warned me not to do this.
Oh, he's just being a parent. Don't go out in a cold snap before your winter coat's grown in. Don't talk to strangers. Don't lose your mittens.
Uh-oh.
My mom always does it too. Best to just nod. I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
I believe I understand Dad's warning now. This must be my Arctic genes' way of adapting for this cold snap. What?
Nothing. I'm just waiting for some Oompa Loompas to come up and sing about you.
Well, this is warm, but inconvenient.
On the contrary. Observe. I can hide small children in you.
How is that convenient?
Oh, you mean for you.
Hey, Millie.
Hey, Ozzy. Thanks for storing my piano for me.
All right, I think this has hit the silliness threshold. This is wearing a bit thin.
Okay, fine. I'll take care of it. Hold still. Wow, nice holding still.
It's easy enough when you're paralyzed with terror.
You know, you're to be commended as a father. So many guys put intense pressure on their sons to meet some Neanderthal masculine ideal. It's nice that you let your son just be himself.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Mom. Of course, there are limits.
Has your daughter considered a career in surrealism?
Raise water to a boil. Add carrots, celery, soy bacon bits. Then add 1 dragon. Dragon soup is a rare delicacy from the East or wherever the particular dragon is from. Stir repeatedly to mix in dragon flavor. Then finally remove dragon. Broth serves between 2 and 94 people. You know, Simply because something is a time-honored tradition doesn't make it not stupid.
This always tastes of bathwater.
You know, Stefan hasn't been at school recently.
Yeah, you're right.
I hope there's nothing wrong with him.
Well, aside from the obs.
Come on, that joke is beneath even you.
Well, there's one scientific way to see if Stefan's in the area.
Scientific?
We've got Bill Gates in the stocks. Let's pelt him with dead stuff. No, Stefan. Troubling.
Yes. Troubling. I think I'll major in liberal arts.
The school's online records list Stefan as out sick.
Oh. Okay, well thanks, Mr. Aardvark. Stefan's not home. His dad says he's been selected to represent the school at the National School Fest.
That's a new low in transparent cover stories.
Yes, it is. Up there with Mom, the duck is on fire.
Oh, and I had, 2 seconds to think of some diversion. The mystery deepens. Stefan must have wanted desperately to get away. What on earth could be bad enough to spark that reaction? Oh, look at the two dorks. The dorkmobile must have broken down.
Well.
I can't believe I'm saying this. Hey, Felicia. Don't go. Hey, Felicia. We need to know if you know anything about where Stefan is. What's that about in sync? What? No. Stefan. Stefan, you know. Aardvark kid. Glasses. So this, conversation doesn't have anything to do with NSYNC. Some people have trains of thought. Felicia is still working on inventing the wheel of thought. So have you seen Stefan? Actually, I saw Dork Boy, the other day.
The other day. Persistence. That's key. I am going to ask Felicia to go with me. And I am not going to lose it if she says no. Ahem, Felicia. Will you Howarth?
Yeah, okay. Given the futility of life on this planet even for the fortunate, and given the seemingly incurable suffering of much of the Earth's population, and given a world in which, from the primordial ooze forward, life has sustained itself by brutally devouring other life, and given that we may be alone in a horrifically vast, empty universe, insignificant specks on a blue dust particle in an infinite void, it doesn't really matter that I haven't done my spelling homework for today. Personally, I thought that was a much better excuse than I had a cold.
In the old days she'd have made you drink hemlock or something. You mean it? You'll go out with me? Zounds. This is the happiest day of my life. I.
Ha 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 hee ha 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 snort hee ha 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 giggle. Can you believe Dork Boy? Actually thought I was serious? Gah. I mean, what a retard. So, basically, for a cheap laugh, you ripped out Stefan's heart and poured cement into his gaping chest cavity. Yeah, the latest Cosmopolitan for Kids shows you how to do it in 5 easy steps. It seems pretty clear now. Obviously Stefan's run away somewhere to nurse a broken heart.
Where would he have gone?
I ran away one time. I went looking for a place where the greetings are always friendly, and good food is handed out freely at the door.
As I recall, you hung out at Safeway for 45 minutes.
To once again be young and easily satisfied. We still don't know where Stefan's gone off to.
Well, it's a bit hard to figure out from what we have. But, given the circumstances, I can only guess he'd go someplace in search of, mines. But, then, that's only a guess. Silicon Valley. Finally I'll be with my...
Reach for it, kid.
What?
Give me that laptop. Now. There. Now you have a decent operating system.
Today, on World's Dorkiest Muggings. The San Francisco Bay Area. For decades, destination of dreamy, idealistic youths, in search of that elusive holy grail. Ideological like minds.
I made $40 million on my IPO last year.
What's your company do? Sigh. Hello?
Hey, Ozzy. This is your cousin Isolda.
I think I've spotted your friend Stedman down here in California.
Oh my gosh. Really?
Yeah. I've been here doing some research for my zoology term paper. I'm observing.com investors.
Really? What's your topic?
Lemmings.
I regret not fiving. Listen, Isolde, you need to convince Stefan to come home before he gets in big trouble.
I'll give it a shot.
Isolde?
Hey, Stefan. What's happening?
Paradigm. Mission profile. Access. Initial public offering. Smart-sized resources, infrastructure, connectivity. Strategic positioning.
I may already be too late. Stefan, you've got to get home. You're still just a kid. You'll never make it on your own in this town.
Says you. These are my people. At home waits only rejection and alienation. But here, in the cradle of technology, I'm destined to find employment helping to bring about the future.
We'll give you $20 when you're done, kid.
THPPPTBT. Sir, as much as I appreciate your giving me this toilet cleaning job, I can't help thinking I've got the talent and the drive to, have a real Silicon Valley sort of job.
Well, sure, kid. Why don't we make you executive vice president?
Oh my gosh. Really? This is a dream come true. I.
Snort. Ha 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 hey ha 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 ha. Go clean the toilets, kid.
This is so much less humiliating when it's just girls.
Woodstock. Flower power. The Bee Gees. Sure, it all sounded great in the 60s and 70s, but it's been decades. The rebels of yore have long since become today's establishment. And the flower children, just gray-headed stockbrokers. It's high time we had a brand new grassroots youth revolution. It starts with us. We'll show our jaded, crass, materialistic elders what real value is.
So how are we going to start?
Mom, can we have some money? Let's get you home, Stefan. Your family and friends will miss you.
Yeah. This place hasn't been the panacea I'd hoped for. But someday I will return. I'll conquer this town. I'll be on the front lines of the fight to make information free.
By which you mean you'll use information to get lots of money. A flashy car and a lot of tech toy, right?
There are other definitions?
I'll explain it all on the trip.
Hey, Dad. I'm home. Oh? Didn't notice you were gone. But I've been gone for over a week. There's been a Doctor Who marathon on TV. Home.
Ozzy, how's Stefan adjusting to being back? He's had a pretty rough couple of weeks. I mean, he's had to deal with getting rejected by Felicia. And then by that company. He must be feeling pretty low.
Actually, no, he's in high spirits. He seems to have found something else to think about.
What do you mean?
You don't want to know what he's doing with this photo of my cousin Isolde. I was just licking the peanut butter off it. I swear.
I'm mad, and I'm not gonna take it anymore.
What exactly aren't you going to take anymore?
I don't know, but being self-righteous is fun. I mean, it's unfair. Can you believe Mom would do that? It's sibling. It's...
What?
I just realized I've started tuning myself out. This looks like a job for someone else's optical prescription girl. Don't look at me like that. Originality is important and all the good identities are taken. Eccentric? Perhaps. But who could be better dinner company? He makes opening a door an act of clumsy. Outmoded chivalry for most guys into a humble expression of egalitarian respect he orders in whatever language is called for. His dining recommendations have yet to miss. A hard day in court fades away as I observe the elegance with which he does ordinary things. Then he looks into my eyes, across the candle, and says,
You know, dragon boogers are far larger than mammal boogers.
The flaw that makes the masterpiece.
La 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 la.
Ha ha. You sit like a total dork, fairy boy.
Oops, I did it again. Did it into something. I am not an animal.
The trouble with finding your place in the eye of the storm is, you're basically surrounded.
Hi, I'm Mr. W. I'm the president. Howdy howdy. Now, what is this Canada of which you speak? What's this, Millie? I'm establishing a puppet government. You know. The parent job description doesn't necessarily include dignifying you with a response. Allow me to describe to you my new tax cut plan. Basically, the American people need financial relief. Say, $1 a week more than I'm getting now. I'm not raising your allowance unless you become more reliable about helping with the dishes. Hey, it's sad how some people stubbornly refuse to be bipartisan. I'm compassionate. I'm a uniter, not a divider.
You know, your puppet show sucks. I thought you were a uniter.
Yes, well, it's hard to keep campaign promises if people are going to act like boogerheads.
Okay, Millie, I admit Mr. W is a likable, charismatic puppet. But it's not quite enough to distract me from the fact that your Secretary of the Interior sock is pulling my tail.
Really? What if I found some way of making Mr. W play the kazoo? I don't know. I guess I just find it comforting having Mr. W around. It gives me someone to feel superior to. It's a great feeling.
Yeah, and one with which I've worked to become intimately familiar.
Hey.
Ozzy, you really need to lighten the heck up. Eh? Well, I mean, you're always serious. It's stupid. You ought to follow my example. Learn to mellow out. Learn to chill. Stop thinking so much and just laugh at life. In short, you have to stop being so stuffy and just be cool like me.
Avery, I accidentally taped Blue's Clues over your tape of Friends. Is that okay?
What's up with Avery?
I think he's showing me how to be so unserious your head blows up.
Well, I got me a case of them down home watching blues. Yeah? Said I got me a case of them down home watching blues, baby. Yeah. 'Cause my mom won't let me use the freezer to experiment with cryogenics.
Aren't the blues supposed to be about finding the universal aspects of one's pain?
Well, that's what makes this innovative. It's healthy competition. I never said it was fair.
Wait, I call time out.
Okay.
What was that?
Deregulation.
Hey, you guys. I've decided to be the zany, popular type like on a sitcom. I'll be the Kramer of this neighborhood.
He has to be mentioned in Revelations somewhere.
Anyway, I've devoted a lot of mental energy to this. Urkel, the Fonz, Elf. Each, in his day, wildly popular, and widely annotated. Clearly there's a winning formula at work. Now, what do they have in common?
My desire to pelt them hard with rotting squash.
Great catchphrases. You'll make a top-notch red Chinese operative someday. Thing is, I'm having trouble thinking up a decent catchphrase for myself. Any suggestions?
Hi, Millie. I'm going to give you all my cash.
Zen Master I Kyoto said, the world is vast and wide. Why? Then do you wear pants in which you could smuggle Volkswagens?
Armadillo. Armadillo. The cheese from Zimbabwe has lugubriously flattened my popcorn.
I have a really big booger jammed up here.
Forget it.
When I was 5, I accidentally called my Aunt Gladys Uncle Gladys. It's haunted me ever since. I mean, at the time, the adults had a big laugh over it, and then promptly forgot about it. I, on the other hand, wake up in the middle of the night to this day, sometimes kicking myself for being so stupid. Intellectually, of course. I'm aware that it doesn't matter and nobody remembers or has ever held it against me. It helps not a bit. Ha ha, look at dork girl, with her stupid overalls. And, like, that boy she's probably gonna marry.
Sometimes enemies are a bit anticlimactic, aren't they?
Well, you should never compete with a pro.
Avery, sooner or later you're going to have to accept it. Life is different from television. It's simply...
Hey, wait. How long has this conversation been going on?
30 minutes.
Well, I'm done.
Me too.
Look at me. I'm a star. Pay attention to me. Well, it worked for Madonna. Kiddo, every day the case for raising you in a shack in Montana gets stronger. As far as I'm concerned, The First Amendment is the cornerstone of freedom and democracy. Without the liberty to express unpopular socio-political ideas, all other liberties become a farce. We've got to be able to use our minds without fear.
So, what are you planning to do with this freedom?
Oh, a lot of things. For example, bottom, poo, booger,
Bless this country.
and to the republic for which it stands,
One nation, under God, indivisible.
with liberty and justice for oil. Well, then you should have made a rule against sock puppets saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
Millicent, you do know why you're here, right?
Yeah,
The Pledge of Allegiance is a solemn, important expression of patriotism. You need to respect it, young lady. Sullying it with satirical sock puppets is sacrilege.
I see, sir. It's still constitutional, though, right?
Well, yes. Unfortunately, the Hatch Anti-Sock Puppet Unpatriotism Amendment can't quite get the support to pass. The point here, young lady, is that we're entering a new era of bipartisanship. It's time to realize we're all on the same side, and find common ground. So, because of your op-inner behavior, I'm giving you lunchtime detention.
Grown-up logic is like a constellation. You have to take their word for it that it makes the picture they say it does.
Hello? No. I'm sorry. I don't wish to buy any. No. Really? Sir. I have to. Sir, please. No. Sir, I don't wish to be rude. But you're in serious peril of activating my CHOOO.
Dad, I keep telling you, either develop some assertiveness or seek some treatment for your phone solicitor allergy.
I shall return to the tub to ruminate on this dilemma.
I guess I just don't get grown-ups in politics. They talk about bipartisanship and goodwill, and it always seems like what they really mean is everybody do things my way.
Here, I saved you some pizza and chocolate milk.
Bipartisanship lives.
MRFRLFRMNM.
This looks like a job for completely unhelpful girl. Here, have a quarter.
What?
I've noticed success tends to mean making sure people's expectations are low and then exceeding them.
Hamilty, what are you doing?
I'm looking at a bug.
With Survivor on? Man, you're boring. In our part of the world, it generally happens once per winter. Disbelieving children awake and look upon a transformed world. Silent. Sleeping. Serene beyond words.
Yes. In your face, school.
You know, I'm sure if we lived someplace that got snow all winter, it'd seem utterly mundane and stressful. As it is, though, it's fun to just drink in the serenity. I believe I just got some serenity upside my head.
Bet it still wasn't mundane.
Boy, I love snow days. I have the whole day to sit inside playing video games. Stefan, Plato wrote an allegory about people in a cave watching shadow and confusing them with reality. Do you see what I'm getting at? Did the shadows have hilariously bad translations from Japanese? Just think. Until very recently, if you wanted music you had to fork your hard-earned cash over to greedy record company goons in suits. No more. These days you can just download whatever music you want right off the internet. Sure, the big, selfish record companies and the man can shut down a site here and there. But they can't stop the speeding train that is the will of the people. No. The fact that millions have taken to music file sharing demonstrates undeniable philosophical unity. So, this is unity behind what philosophical point, again? We want to get stuff free. Ah, conviction. Hey, Tim. What's that?
I made a snow Avery. See, he got long arms and he's really tall 'cause my brother's big and strong and stuff. And he got the cape 'cause my brother's really super.
So why does he have cheese on his head?
'Cause it's funny.
State-of-the-art anti-missile defense.
Cheater. My snow fort is impenetrable. Who on earth would dare challenge my position?
Millicent's liable to catch her death of cold standing out in the rain. And what's she shouting?
Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Millie, are you just going to stand out here in the rain all day?
Yes. As long as there's still some snow on the ground, I'm not giving in. I will not accept defeat at the hands of nature.
Millie, has it occurred to you that the ephemerality of the occasional morning snow is what gives it its magic? Part of the joy lies in the knowledge that you've been given something rare.
You're just asking for a slush ball down your pants.
Now you're talking nonsense.
Well, that's it. No more snow, I'm soaked, and now we'll have to go to school tomorrow.
Here, have some more marshmallows.
It seems like it would be. Try to accept that as a reason to stop being mad at the universe. Heck, it'll have to do. Hey, Ozy. You look stressed.
No, I don't.
You know what would really calm you down? Acupuncture.
Just ignore them, son. They'll stop if they don't get the reaction they want.
No offense, but you also thought that would work on the playground. Amateur acupuncture?
It's an ancient Eastern medical practice.
You know, I'm kind of skeptical about this.
Oh, its benefits are well documented. Still, science has yet to really figure out why pointy metal things strategically inserted into the skin should have the effect they do. So, for once, my absolute ignorance shouldn't be a liability.
I'm trying hard to come up with a way to escape quickly without compromising my zen-like exterior.
Acupuncture. That certainly takes me back.
Does it?
Oh, yes. I did once require medical attention overseas. I contracted a nasty case of the hiccups outside Beijing. Indulge a silly old bugger for old time's sake, Millicent?
Well, I suppose.
Thanks, Dad.
Just doing my job.
Darn it, these tacks keep breaking. You know, I don't think the V-chip in any way blocks out what's really obscene.
Hey, Fairy. Noticed all the new advertising all around the school?
Well,
And you're still in your generic clothes and junk. Man. You're more out of it than ever. I guess I'll just have to do something about it, pansy.
10 years old and I already feel like a victim of corporate downsizing.
Hello, Principal? Yes, this is Ozymandias Llewellyn's father. I understand you've taken on an influx of advertising placed around the school. Are you sure that's wise? Well, profitable of no. It does compromise your position as an educator. Your job depends rather strongly on your ability to impart unbiased truth. By using educational space for commercial purposes, you're telling children my words can be bought. Also, my son is having some trouble getting the Eat Icy Free stickers out of his fur.
Ow.
Look, I'm sorry you object to in-school advertising, Mr. Llewellyn. But it's the American way. If you don't like it, you're free to, I don't know, secede or something.
I don't know what you said to him, but keep in mind I have to live with it.
Hee.
Ozy, do you think there's a God?
I dunno. That's always such a big question. I'm not sure how to answer it.
You must have some idea what you think.
Well, look at it this way. I'm 10 years old. And even if I weren't, the intellect of any creature on this tiny blue speck of dust is very finite. Doesn't it seem like it'd be an act of arrogance to claim to really know the nature of the universe and,
I thought the packet was full of poor conditioning exfoliant. But it turned out to be green Kool-Aid.
I will grant you some things are suspiciously perfect.
Yeah, I like the universe's sense of humor. The 5% of the time the joke isn't on me. You mean your house is now a separate country?
According to my dad, yes.
That seems kind of unnecessary. I mean, we already live in the United States. The blueprint for democracy the world over. How's your dad going to improve on that?
No Temptation Island.
Bye, Mom. I'm moving.
Not to be difficult, here, Dad, but if we as a household are, seceding, aren't there some political realities to be dealt with?
Ah, well, naturally. However, I've put my ambassador to work on it.
Ambassador?
Well, actually, I'm sort of a temp, Mr. President.
Oh, well, that's an easier word to say.
Mr. President, my name is Isolda. I'm the ambassador from Greater Luleland.
From where? I mean, I've, heard of it and all.
You have? I mean, it's...
I'm the president, and presidents have heard of places. Here, I'll use my famous charm on you. Now, let's see, nicknames.
Mr. President, it doesn't.
Big Isolda? Little Isolda? Little Miss Scaly Britches? No, let's see. Izzy Green Queen Scaly, Bottom Fancy Pants. This is usually easier.
Please shut up, Mr. President.
Isolda Isolda Boy Isolda, Banana Fana Fofa Isolda.
And after all that, the president still said he'd recognize us?
More or less. Basically he said he'd ignore us completely due to our lack of oil or cheap labor.
Sounds like it was a pretty successful trip.
I'll say. I'm planning to go back next month and hit some more lobbyists with my tail.
Well, so now it's official. Greater Luleland is now an oasis from all that exists outside. A surreal escape from that other surreality that is reality.
What was it before?
It's a formality, really.